all by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. Brandon is back.
I know, it took forever.
He went to, you can sit here.
I was like, yeah, we could switch.
Oh wait, you take that one.
Well, why do you get the good?
Because I like spinning around.
Anyways, yeah, I'm back. A whole week later, almost. There you go.
And we've got plenty to talk about. So, you want to share your story?
Oh, my story. Oh, about Vegas, like when I went.
Right.
So, okay, so over the weekend.
Wait. Before we do anything else.
Oh yeah, did you see our new fancy shirts?
Right.
Gamer Gear.
From Game Gear. Quick shout out to the guys over at Game Gear for hooking us up with some of their new shirts. We'll have more info on the shirts in a few weeks.
Well, they feel nice.
But comment here and let us know what you think of them. Which design do you like better? Mine?
Or mine?
Let us
know. If you want
know.
me to be personally honest, I prefer his.
Yeah,
because I
like
want the
this.
controller.
Right. When they gave me this one, I was like, this is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm digging it. But anyway, yeah, Vegas.
Okay, so over the weekend, I was gone at Vegas. I was gone from Thursday until Tuesday. And, I was just going there just because it was my mother's 60th birthday. But aside from that, I still
birthday, Mom.
Yeah, but I still pretty much did my own thing.
Okay.
So, just walking around the strip and stuff, and, just browsing, etc. at the, all the shops that they have there. But then when I started gambling on Saturday, I did manage to walk away with 200 at least, so that was cool. But where I won it on, or how I got it, was what made me
a little perturbed.
Oh my god. So, I was playing a Walking Dead machine. It was a slot machine. And I hit 3 free games, but at the end it was a jackpot. So basically I had a chance to go for the jackpot on the tiers. And they have you choose from 12 heads, and once you match 3 of them, that's the prize you get. So since they have 4 tiers, you basically choose out of 12 heads, and once you get 3, then you get the prize for that. And then they give you free games after that. So I was so mad, like I was on edge because I had 2 of each tier. So out of all those tiers, I had a chance of possibly getting $3,000. It was a 25% chance that I could have got it. But I walked away with 200. But I'm just like, oh my god.
You keep telling me.
It was a 25% chance! Anyway, so while Christian's dealing with the trade-in, so yeah, that's how that went, and I'm just like, I was so sad. I could have walked away with 3,000, and probably what I would have done with that 3,000, I probably would have bought my desktop right off the bat, and then just saved the rest for later. I was like, man. But anyway, so today, let me see here, what are we going to be talking about today? Because honestly, I haven't been keeping in the loop.
15 most influential video game characters.
Are we now?
Yes.
Okay, so 15 influential gaming characters. The hell is it? But other than that, my vacation went great. I was really happy with it. And honestly, I really needed it. I think I should put this on because that'd be a great idea. There we go. Okay. So let me drag you guys with me. Alright. So let's see. I don't even know this list, so I might even be surprised from here to there, so. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, that's interesting. So apparently at 15 we have the Z-shaped Tetris block. I was like, why? It says long before Candy Crush hooked us, there was Tetris, the timeless, addictive arcade puzzler by Russian game designer. First released in 1984. Of all the signature Tetraminios, the Z-shaped block is arguably the most maddening. Play it in the wrong place, and it can be impossible to. That I can attest to. Cause, well, I could understand why a lot of people don't like that Z block is because like since it's so obscure that you have to put it in a correct spot. Because if you don't, like it said right here, it is hard to recover from it if you mess up. Because there's just two openings. Like if you just put it in an obscure place, that those places are empty, you can't clear them because you need the whole line. Anyways, this is that's what makes the game like Tetris so addictive. The impression that winning or losing is always just one vital choice away. Once you're convinced you'll get it right next time, enveloping players in a self-reinforcing, time-swallowing black hole is true for countless puzzle games, but the Z-shaped Tetris blocks exemplifies that concept. I know, that's like Sid Richards. I don't know, man. Like, I would say like, I'm probably gonna say that it is on the list on here. Like, I was gonna say like Lara Croft or something, but it's probably on the list. I don't even know this list, so I'm just reading off what they have here. So the next one we got is Diablo from the Diablo games. So Diablo 1, 2, 3. This is the hard-to-beat devil. Blizzard's infamous infernal sovereign can be grueling adversary if taken lightly. He's the Lord of Terror, the most powerful of the prime evils, the liar in the guise of the Dark Wanderer, the goading adversary, and the heart of each tragical installment. Which is true. It says informed Gothic fantasy series. It is also a game's archetypal foozle and illimitable damage sponge into which players pour a game's worth of tactical preparation. Informed by sculptureless looting, savvy inventory juggling, and ability streamlining the finger cramping benchmark against every gamer's hack and slash metalment is measured. Diablo is tanky as hell. I honestly can't stand playing against him.
I'll be back eventually.
He's lying. But yeah, Diablo in every single game, no matter how much we farm, no matter what gear we get in that game, he's always hell.
Do you want them to get it down so you can look at it?
Ironically, huh?
Let's go over here then and ask them to get it down for you.
Okay, so next we got the Vault Boy from the Fallout series. It says, much that is mordant and blackly comedic in modern gaming feels like it's standing on the shoulders of this Dotree relentlessly blith Fallout series mascot. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed cartoonish young male in the style of Mr. Monopoly. Vault Boy embletizes character stats, chance actions, and otherwise dull math in Bethesda's...
Hey, Richard.
Bethesda's post-apocalyptic role-playing romps. It's this gloriously absurd and irrelevant spectrum of dispositions and postures, from hyperbolic simpering to grisly dismemberments, that makes him gaming's most Pythonisic icon. It is interesting because in post-apocalyptic games in general, like sometimes you do hear, like basically since he's based on the Monopoly guy on his look, the connection I see here is, you know, in any post-apocalyptic game, like in similarity to it, you do hear like old classic stuff. Like sometimes you hear like old classic music off a record player or something. And Vault Boy, you know, does represent that kind of genre, but I don't really see like where the inspiration is aside from that. But I mean, it does make sense in making that connection. Prediction for top 5. Let's see. Mario's number 1, Pac-Man 2, 3, Donkey Kong, 4, Sonic, 5, Cloud. Well, we'll see. Because I still don't know what the rest of it, so we'll continue on. So 12, we got Big Daddy and Little Sister from BioShock. Okay, now this one, before I even say anything, this one I can kind of get because, you know, it's how they feel like the relationship between, you know, father and daughter, but it's probably going to be something else. Let's see. It says, it felt wrong to sunder this character binary at the heart of Irrational's metaphysically harrowing BioShock games. So we've decided to both include both of them, forbidding diving suit imprisoned mutants, Big Daddies, and their lithe, electric-eyed, ragamuffin wards, Little Sisters. This pair's dynamic explorations, symbiotic cooperation, and brutal retaliation when provoked, catalyzed waves of experimental AI ecologies and subsequent games that stress players' tinkering and emergent consequences. It is important to recall how they exemplify the sort of Cronenberg iron-building block body horror we see in games like Dead Space, Inside, and Soma.
And then we bought one of
Okay,
those,
that wasn't anything like I expected. Well, I will say, like, aside from what they said there with Big Daddy and Little Sister, like, I like how the game creators of that took, like, the idea of, you know, the father-daughter relationship and, you know, almost any family, and they basically made them like a dynamic duo in a sense. But how they explained it here, like, I don't know. I don't really like how they explained it. But that's how just I see that. Like, how I said it probably makes a bit more sense. And, you know, honestly, I didn't really want to kill the Little Sisters, but unfortunately you had to, because I think it was an achievement that you had to kill every single one of them. So I'm just like, Alright, what do we got here? Really? Shodan? Shodan. Okay, deranged sentient computers long predate and cyberpunk. Corridor crawler system shocks, goading glitch toad. Shodan owes a debt to precursors like Kubrick and Clark's HAL and Hilar and Ellison's I Have No Mouth and I May Scream. There's something both exquisite and distinct about Tribe alt-rocker Terry Brosius' inspired voicing of the character. Shodan was like a black widow spider, a paralyzing godlike presence whose seductive brilliance and stammering balefulness made her one of gaming's most memorable antagonists. That she's tangled in the inception of so many game villains, such as like Portal's superb Gladys, seems like kind of poetic and comprehensively she would doubtlessly endorse. Now that kind of makes sense. Like, honestly, like, to be fair, I don't really think there's that many female antagonists in games. Aside from the one that was introduced. Oh, that was Richard's top
Mario,
5.
Pac-Man, Donkey Kong,
That's what
Sonic.
he thinks his top 5 is.
Oh, that's what you think this top 5 is, or is that your top 5?
His top 5.
That's your top
Richard's.
5. Got you. Shit, okay.
One of them he's close.
He is. You're very close, actually, on one of them. You're like,
We'll flip-flop.
you're like, you know, when you say you're hot and cold, and you're like burning up. you're like on fire. You're like in hell.
Straight fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Like your next mixtape?
Yeah, straight fire. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Shodan. Shodan was an AI computer.
Okay.
But what was interesting about her is, like I mentioned to everybody on here, that she had a godlike presence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, made it seem like, you know, as they said, like she was a Black Widow, that she was paralyzing every time she talked. You're just like, well, shit. And a game that took inspiration from that was in Portal. There's an AI called Gladys.
God.
But you know, and I was saying, like, there really isn't that many female antagonists in games,
This is
especially
true.
like, you know, in adventure games. Like, you know, you might get like a sub boss here and there,
Right.
but you don't really have it as like the end game villain. The only one that I can think of, like, I'm pretty sure I know there's others in the past. Like, I'll throw out like Xenosaga maybe, but I kind of doubted that, because honestly I haven't played it in a long time. But recently, if we're talking about most recent games, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Luzamine. Because Luzamine is the main antagonist at the end game that you have to beat, and it turns out she's the mother of the daughter that you have that is following around you in the game. So it's just like, I wouldn't mind seeing more.
Now you got my head. You got my head. You got my head going now. Yeah. You're right. That's generally males.
Mm-hmm. It showed as much influence as Master Hand.
Funny.
I gotta hand it to you.
We're gonna jump to number 10, which is Solid Snake. Conventional wisdom holds that gaming, some name that's unpronounceable. Metal Gear Solid Stealth Series mainstay Solid Snake was inspired by Escape from New York Badass. That's funny. Inspired by Escape from New York Badass Growler Snake Plissken. Why do they put all these names and stuff that's
Don't
I
you
can't
look at like
pronounce?
the past like 15? Like there was only one in the top 15 that made sense, Diablo. But other than that, like the other ones are like kind of
Yeah,
obscure.
one Solid Snake and all these names and stuff I can't pronounce.
Well, Solid Snake is fine. Freaking.
Well, no, I didn't say there's anything wrong with it. I just can't. Well, I don't think he likes it too much. Yeah.
So let's see how you pronounce these. I would love to see this because
I'm not even gonna.
play
I'm not even gonna because I just told him no. Yeah, it's
Hideo Kojima.
What now?
Hideo Kojima.
Kojima. Oh, got tobacco token.
He couldn't even pronounce tobacco. He was probably gonna be like tobacco
token super spy sneaky code name to. I would say that Agent 47, Solid Snake, and Sam Fisher would be equal on that.
Mm-hmm.
True. Kojima's seminal. Okay, so you like this number 10?
Yeah, but like keep going.
Oh no, I was just asking. You know.
Yeah, no. Solid Snake makes sense.
Gotcha.
Push it back a bit further.
We're gonna jump to number 9, Scorpion. Those age-appropriate ratings gracing. Why Scorpion?
I don't know, but if anything, if you want to help him.
No,
yeah.
I did the last one. You can grab that one.
Oh, I'll get a. Well, with Scorpion, let me just put this real quick. So aside from what he does, in killing and everything,
Mm-hmm.
if you played the recent games, they started giving him a bit more backstory.
Ah, okay.
Basically, how he came to be was because he wanted revenge on his clan. But that's why you had the rivalry between him and Sub-Zero. So it's basically like more of like a seeking of redemption. That's why they have him, like I said right here, similar to Kratos. Because Kratos is trying to redeem himself.
Got it. See, you never know what knowledge you're gonna learn with Brandon. He's just chock full of it. So we've got Scorpion. Number 8, I thought this was very appropriate. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile were the face of Mortal Kombat, which launched the mature fighting games. That's very true. I thought Liu Kang was arguably one of the faces of Mortal Kombat, but I guess to the gory fighters and those true to the franchise, yes, it would be Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile. But I don't know. I put Liu Kang in there, even though he wasn't as gritty as the rest. I put Liu Kang in there. I mean, there were so many The thing about it is there were so many for me. There were so many identifiable characters with Mortal Kombat. I mean, but when you say the face of the game, that does put a bit of a spin on it. Who's most identifiable. So, yeah, I would go with those 3. Rich. Number 8, The Sims. I thought this was very appropriate. What's it like to play God? You get a sense of that awesome power with The Sims, a series of games in which you're largely responsible for the fates of the computer characters you create. Unlike most video games, I felt like The Sims was kind of like Big Brother on CBS. Watching, but you only get to control them. The reality shows. The reality show Big Brother, Survivor. All that kind of stuff. That's how it kind of felt playing The Sims. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Unlike most video games, but just as in real life, nobody ever beats The Sims. The point lies in the social relationships forged during the journey itself. Original designer Will Wright's wildly popular series birthed the life simulation genre, whose offshoots include everything from simulated reality precursors, Second Life, to virtual reality experiences. Makes no sense. I understand what the list is trying to do there, but The Sims would be under the most influential games, not influential characters. But The Sims would be under most influential. Yeah, I see your point. I do see your point. I don't know, cause The Sims, a sim has no character except for what the character you give it. So in a sense, it would be you as number 8. That's very true. Okay, I see your point now. I see your point, because there, like you just said, there's nothing to it unless you actually build it and play it and walk them through it. So that's true. But I almost feel like this was kind of a. I'm kind of torn. Me personally, I'm kind of torn on this one. Because I'll speak for me. I hadn't played a game like that gave me that much control over a character, and just to where I just totally developed everything. There was nothing unless I made it something. So that's why I almost feel like
I'm coming back.
Well, no, you're right, Rich. This is 15 most influential game characters. It's not a character, it's
They're
a game.
Not even characters, they're just games.
Okay, so scratch everything I just said. Okay, if it was under
Okay.
games, yes. Characters, no. Because like you just said, there is no character unless I make it a character. Okay.
Well, and to be fair, like at least, Sims gives you like the sense of, you're able to pretty much do almost whatever you want.
Right.
And whatever decisions you make influences what happens.
Right, and that's what I was telling Rich. I hadn't played a game like that where I just completely controlled everything until I hit The Sims. But
heck,
then
you
that's
can make
why
people cheat on each other and ruin their families.
Right, and that's kind of why I told him, playing The Sims was like, have you ever seen that show on CBS, Big Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that playing The Sims, and so, but that's why to Rich's point, this has no business being on characters. I can see it being on games, but not characters.
You hardly have like a mix. Like whoever wrote this is bad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the only ones that were remotely characters was the AI computer that I said earlier. I already forgot her name. Then Diablo, and Snake, but other than that, and Scorpion.
Yeah.
But like, the Sims aren't a character.
Yeah.
It's like it's the game overall.
Right.
The concept of it. It's life.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what do you got next? Oh, Chief!
Master Chief.
Master Chief. Yes. Okay, Master Chief.
You
This
take
one I
that
could
one.
definitely agree on. So Microsoft had Snap Games Studio Bungie, its first console on the Xbox, probably have flopped. Why? Bungie game 2001 shooter Halo Combat evolved instantly simpatico protagonist Master Chief. While Halo had top-notch voice acting in time, Chief stayed mum. Which is, because like, you see like everybody else in the cast talking, but he's just like literally a phrase. If not just like, a few words, but that's it. He's just real.
I accept number 7.
Yeah, no, I accept, yeah. And so they have, as evidenced by all Master Chief cosplayers you encounter at any gaming conventions, all spare-facing shooters since Destiny and Mass Effect owe Master Chief adept on the Chief's celebrity to sell games and consoles. Basically, like, what was so interesting about Chief was that, in almost pretty much every game you played before him, everybody talked, especially, the main protagonist of the game. But Master Chief literally was so mysterious. Like, he didn't talk. You really didn't have any background on him aside from, that he was like a super soldier. And you were the one that basically controlled the entire front line as to, for the entire Covenant War. But, you started learning more about it as you played 2 and 3. Then they gave him slightly a bit more dialogue. But it was still very sublime, and there wasn't much of it. But it was cool to hear him, because he was, it was so strong and confident, and just like, I'm going to get this done, and there's no saying what you can do about it. Like, no matter what decision he made, whether if it was like, dire life-threatening, or, he could kill himself with it, he didn't care. He just did it. And he done it.
That show is still going on.
What? Yeah, The Simpsons? Yeah.
Oh. Wow, I'm
I don't know
sorry.
where the hell that came from.
No, well, okay, wait. Look, there at wait. On the screen where we're referencing everything in the corner, like out of nowhere, because it wasn't there before. It came out of nowhere. This ad for the 29th and 30th seasons of The Simpsons. I didn't know The Simpsons was actually producing new episodes. Brand new to me. Yeah, but I should have figured something when I saw on Fox one of the episodes coming on when Marge opened up her own restaurant and Homer asked her if she had a droid delivery service. And so that should have let me know there that it was a brand new episode. But I don't know. Please don't mind me. Like I said,
he's like they all look the same. They're all yellow.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and I'm also like that dog on. Okay, you know what? I'm so sick. And we're on my phone right now. We're live on my phone right now. Let me tell you something. I'm so tired of people sending me chain messages in my inbox. I don't care what Donald Trump has sent out. I don't care about the Zika virus that if I don't pass this message along to 10 other people, I'm gonna catch it. I don't care.
Oh yeah, if you don't pass this chain mail, you're gonna die.
Yeah. I don't care. That makes me so irritated. That pisses me off. Anyway, number 6.
So Richard, you were very close.
Yes.
6 is Sonic.
Yes.
You're very close. Because I think he had him as... No, Cloud was 5. He had Sonic at 4, I think. But either way, like, he was still close.
Yeah, you were there. During the console wars heyday in the late 1980s, Sega decided it needed something to counter arch rival Nintendo's Mario. Thus was born Sonic, a speed demon hedgehog who embodies everything... I don't have that word.
Ambulant.
Thank you.
Ebullient Italian plumber.
Thank you. He can't laugh at me because he was staring at that for a second himself. Anyway,
I took English.
Sonic was fast. I did too, but that doesn't mean I know all the words.
Did you get a C? Because C's get degrees.
I got it. Oh no, I actually got a B.
Hey, I got an A.
Sonic.
So I think that shows the difference between the boy and man.
No, it shows the difference between when I procrastinate and when I actually do it ahead of time.
I did too.
Sonic was
the rival to Mario's standard description, which is why Sonic should be higher on the list.
Yeah. Sonic was fast, rebellious, and full of attitude, a punk rock blue and white missile hurtling through vibrant levels at breakneck velocities. His edgy mohawk... He does have a mohawk, doesn't he?
In a way.
Edgy mohawk and roguish grin summarize Sega's strategy.
Appeal to the teenage crowd.
Right. Out of Nintendo's family-friendly games. The dude with the tude... Impact spawned all sorts of offbeat video game characters. Sonic has so much. Where did Sonic go wrong?
Sonic 2006 on the Xbox 360 and PS3.
You think that's what it is?
No, I know that's what it is. Ever since that game, after that, just decline.
Wow. That Sonic and Crash were two of the most biggest. I felt like they could have gone so much further with good quality stuff.
Yeah, it was a mohawk and 2D side scrolling.
Yeah,
because that's literally what it was.
Yeah,
and that's out the edge.
Yeah, those are the two. But I mean, obviously we have the reboot of Crash now. But
but like they said, his appeal was towards the teenagers of the generation. I'll admit, I did start playing him when I was a teenager.
I was playing Sonic when I was 5.
Yeah, but I was just saying, that was that. But I'm just saying, he didn't really appeal to me. Plus, all I played was Nintendo.
Okay.
But he didn't appeal to me until the GameCube, which is Sonic Adventure 2.
Well, then that must be that must be the answer there then too. Because my first console was a Genesis, so all I really knew was Sonic. So that's pretty much what I grew up on. Then from Genesis, I went to PlayStation.
That makes sense. But it's if you were a teenager at that time, you see a hedgehog, with shoes, and it looks like he has a mohawk, and mohawks were once upon a time a thing. So it's there's no wrong in that. And then later on, they start giving him, as they say, the dude with the attitude.
Right. So would you say that Sonic is responsible for Crash Bandicoot, Earthworm Jim, Conker, Squirrel?
Conker? Honestly, Conker is beyond that.
Well, I mean, their argument is that Sonic was the foundation for all those characters that came after him.
Crash, I can understand. Earthworm Jim, maybe. Conker, no. I mean, I can see he's just another animal, but Conker is just a jacket. Apparently, he has a girlfriend, but no, Conker is just that's way out of Sonic's realm right now. If you're looking at the two from the games they came with, aside from Conker's Pocket Tales and Diddy Kong Racing, where Conker showed up. Conker solidified who he was on freaking Bad Fur Day. Bad Fur Day was nothing but drinking. It was just a really shitty day for him. However, that game was great. Just because it was funny. There was so much obscurity in it. You have to go to war with teddy bears.
What?
Yeah, in Conker's Bad Fur Day, there was a portion that you had to go to war. You literally got recruited, and they based off what was going on to Saving Private Ryan.
That's stupid.
It was funny. They had the whole introduction, okay, 30 seconds. Nice knowing you guys. Then you see the freaking boat, the dial for it to bring down the front of it, the bow. Freaking spinning and spinning, and then, as it goes down, then all your soldier friends get murdered. They all get shot, and you're the only one that gets out alive. You jump off the boat, you start swimming down to shore and stuff. You see everyone around you dying and everything. I'm it was literally Private Ryan. I was you've got to be kidding me. But it was, despite how cruel that was, it was amazing on how they pulled it off for, a game like that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And,
So yeah, in that case, I would put Conquer in his own category. Absolutely.
like pretty much.
Number 5, Link.
This one I can see, for sure.
You can take that one.
So with Link, I mean, we don't even need like Link himself. Honestly, has been a very strong inspiration. As to not only does that appeal the idea of exploring the world per se, because like the open world of the adventure game of save the princess, save the world idea, but it's the fact that like that he had to go through so many different places, meet a lot of different people along the way to help him out. Basically, it just shows the idea of if you go out there into the world and meet different people within different parts of it, like say if you go out to like England or something or whatever, everybody, like, we're all still people in the end. We all still even though we have like, oh, you're from this region, da 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 da, regardless, aside from all that, it's like the fact that he's meeting like all these different people to help him out on his adventure, meaning that we can all still meet. Who cares? It's a bat.
I'm sorry, it freaked me out. I'm like, why are these random things popping up in the corner of the screen?
Because we're on Time Magazine.
Oh, we sure are. Okay.
No wonder why this sounds bad. It was a toss-up between Link and Cloud for me thinking about it. I should have put Link in Legend of Zelda World and influenced Final Fantasy to even have broader and in-depth storyline for games. Yeah. I will, yeah. Final Fantasy does have, like Richard said, an in-depth more story.
Mm-hmm. But
Link in himself, like, solidified the idea of, okay, so apparently I'm this hero of time within, the legends of Yeon,
mm-hmm.
and apparently now I have this responsibility that I have to go save the princess from Ganon, and in order for me to do that, I have to go through these trials in order to get there. But aside from looking at it as as the hero of save the princess, save the world idea, like I was saying, like that you have to go through many different villages and everything to meet all these different quote quote races like the Gorons and the Zoras, etc. You meet all those people to help you along the way.
I'm gonna tell you, Zelda, of all the games that I have not played, Zelda is one I wouldn't mind going all the way back to the NES to start and go all the way straight through, because the story just seemed very intriguing, and everything that you were just saying with the objective is to save Zelda, but going through all the different villages and everything like you just said, I love that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Maybe one day when I'm sitting around scratching my butt, I may just decide to go get all the Zelda games.
You're slacking.
You really? No, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't, Richard. I wasn't a Nintendo guy. I started with Sega, then I went to PlayStation.
You didn't get to see the cooler half of the pillow.
Yeah. Well, no. Well. There's some things I felt like I missed out on.
Like I said, everybody's gaming influences were different.
Yeah,
everybody started on a different foothold.
I went to Sega, then PS2, then PS3.
Yeah, you really need to touch a Nintendo for once.
I should.
But however, if you want to start slowly on Zelda, go get Twilight Princess.
Okay.
It's a nice start for what it is, because it is a bit easier to get into.
Some people told me to start with Ocarina.
Well, people say Ocarina because, it literally was the best. But if you're trying to try... He got his first Nintendo when I was 3. Yeah, same here! I got my first Nintendo when I was 3.
No.
I'm just saying, like...
Okay, Richard, which Zelda should I start with, then? Ocarina of Time. Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, everybody's starting point was different. My starting point, since I only generally played, Mario, Donkey Kong, etc., within that, my starting point was Twilight Princess. As crazy as that sounds, I even had a 64, and that was my starting point. I didn't start liking Zelda until GameCube rolled around.
Oh no.
What?
Now he'll be back. But yeah, I didn't start playing Zelda until Twilight Princess rolled around, because it didn't really appeal to me when I was younger. Because all I cared about was, the whole... I just liked the Mario games in general, and Donkey Kong, especially, like, DK64. Donkey Kong 64 was mine. Yeah, he started with the OG Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo.
Oh. Yeah, no, I haven't.
I
played
didn't
it. And that's
until
bad.
Link to the Past, the second one.
Okay.
But I didn't even get a chance to even have any of the Zelda games on the NES.
That's a shame.
I know. That was when I was younger.
Yeah, the original, what was it on Super Nintendo?
Yeah, but
what that one was called was Link.
Yeah, but
Link to the Past.
Yeah, it was Link to the Past
Yeah,
on
one of
Super
the best
Nintendo.
games still to this day ever made.
Yeah.
Matched only by Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That everybody told me. By the way, we're live on Facebook. It's a customer interaction there. Somebody told. They were telling me. I didn't know where I wanted to start with Zelda, and so I actually my first exposure to Zelda was Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
And when I played Wind Waker, I was very unimpressed.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah.
I was extremely.
I didn't forget. And start with Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. It was one of the best, funnest games I've ever. I still own it to this day. I'll go back and replay it every so often.
What's Majora's Mask?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't like it personally.
That one, and you also have to worry about it. You're timed.
Yeah, your time to do it.
Okay. Ocarina of Time would be the best.
If you're
Yeah,
going
3D
chronological,
world
if you're
where
going with the
time
timeline, then you start Ocarina.
is
But if you're
stupid.
trying to, understand, how to play out the game and, kind of ease into it, you can do either Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, or for, like I said, me personally, Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess was good.
It was
I'm
good,
not saying
and,
it wasn't, but
and the foothold, basically it's to introduce, the play style of it, because it's still kind of similar to Ocarina, still similar to Majora's Mask, and pretty much almost the rest of the games.
I have yet to play the remake of Ocarina of Time. That
On the
one.
3DS?
I'm excited to play that. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That's, but yeah, that's by far one of my maybe top 5 or something, or higher favorite games just in general ever. That's just a fun, amazing game right there.
Gotcha. Well, we're gonna jump to number 4, which is Pikachu.
If it's going off friendship, then sure. Yeah. If you master Ocarina, you'll do well with Twilight, Wind Waker, and the others. Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
He has a point, because, Ocarina, like you said, it is the best game out of them all. But, once you beat Ocarina, you can pretty much beat almost anything else.
What, just a side, but what number do you remember Richard, what number did you have Pac-Man at? Do you remember?
I think he had it at 3.
Okay, so Pikachu, this lemon-furred, zigzag-tailed electric mouse became the face of a franchise that's as popular as ever 20 years after its debut. As the Pokemon franchise mascot, Pikachu's relationship with his trainer in 1999's Pokemon Yellow, as well as the
Oh, he had Pac-Man at 2.
Oh, okay.
Relationship
television
with Ash in
series,
the show.
His influence of a series about capturing magical creatures and deploying them in battle ripples through everything from Atlas's Persona to Bandai Namco's Ni no Kuni.
That can actually make a lot of sense, because, the idea of Pokemon in general was, aside from you capturing these creatures, they were basically your companions, your friends. And sometimes even the Pokemon you catch, can also influence how you are as a person. In a way. I mean, for me, for badassery, I guess mine's Garchomp. Because I like Garchomp a lot. But the relationship between Ash and Pikachu throughout the show, really shows the what's the word? I don't want to say depiction, but basically just the idea of friends to the end in a way, and then you still have Brock and Misty alongside him and stuff.
Bruh, is Brock still around? Did he come back?
No,
I don't know.
Ruined your hopes and dreams just like that.
Did. I didn't like that ugly Tracy.
I'm gonna throw a counterpoint at you on that one. Pokemon was a upscale dogfighting arena. No more, no less. They kept these little creatures in a little ball, and then made them beat the shit out of each other, and then put them back in the ball.
That is a very interesting way to put that.
And then they're all like PETA.
Yeah, that's. In the cartoon. Everyone loved the cartoon, obviously. They became friends, I guess, but he still made this tiny little squirrel fucking fight dragons and shit, and get the shit knocked out of him. And then he put him back in a ball. That was kind of messed up.
Yeah, like you said, there's
Fun
two
show
sides.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every coin, so
Yeah.
it's like, it can be viewed as that way or the other way.
All right, well, you guys don't have what I'm looking for today, so that's enough of my nonsense. So thank you.
It's okay.
No problem. Richard, number
Have a good one, my man.
3 is Pac-Man. You were one off.
Mm-hmm.
Legend holds that Pac-Man was inspired by a pizza pie missing a slice,
Which is true.
or just a modification of a Japanese character for mouth.
Nobody liked Pokemon games when they first came out. They weren't even known as Pokemon. Yeah, they were known as Pocket Monsters. But I guess to probably appeal to the. Yeah, I'm not off.
off.
Yeah, the listeners.
Touche.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah. I'm gonna jet through these last 3 because I actually got to run off. Number 2 is Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm.
Few characters have undergone transformations that just as dramatic as Tomb Raider series.
Lara Croft, I would say, would probably be more in the middle for me, but that's just me. But to be fair, a female protagonist that going through all these,
we didn't see any females like that before Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was fair. I thought this placement was fair.
I'd say at least in top 10. At least, but in the higher middle rather than.
And number 1.
Richard, you were kind of close, but kind of not, because apparently number 1 is Peach.
I know. Princess Peach.
Honestly, okay. Mario probably seemed like the obvious choice.
He did, yeah.
Because, you're just your average Italian plumber, and then you hear news of this princess is being kidnapped from a turtle. And you're just like, well, shit, what do I do? Apparently
Number
I'm
2
involved
can
now.
only be described as an attempt feminine equality.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, if we want, the overall average, Lara Croft is in there, at least, within, top 10, because, she really was, aside from it being, feminine equality and stuff, but it's, honestly, I would personally put Lara Croft in my top 10. I really would. But, like Richard said, earlier on his list, Mario is for sure one of, if not the most influential characters, because, he's just your average guy, but, he had aside from all the different abilities given to him, he was still, just your average plumber just looking to save a princess from, somebody dastardly.
I agree. She is part of the top 15, but not top 5. Not top 10. Not for me, anyway.
Yeah, it's true. But the option that I really liked of what Richard said was honestly main characters even more influential. Yeah, you do. There really are. Honestly, we should come up with our own top 15 for each of us. No, we'll do a 10. We'll do a top 10 of our most influential. Because easily, I can already say this right now, my number 1 influential was actually Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Richard had his at 2, I think, or 3. One of the 2. But the reason why I had more influence on Donkey Kong was because since I'm a very family-oriented person, what made it solidify for me was when I was playing Donkey Kong 64, which is still my favorite game to this day, even, above Ocarina and stuff, from that, is literally just because, you had to save parts of his family, and then you use the 5 that you saved within the family, Diddy, Tiny, Lanky, and Chunky, to stop the person that was invading their island, King K. Rool. Because basically the idea concept of that showed me basically family conquers all. And that's what I got from it. So that was just my 2 cents.
Here.
He's just feels.
Well, this has been very interesting. Thanks for hanging out with us, Richard, and everybody else has been watching. We got some big stuff coming up that we're going to be letting you know about. And again, before we leave, quick shout out to the guys over at Game Gear for hooking us up with some of their new shirts. We'll have more info on the shirts in a few weeks, but comment here and let us know what you think about them. Even after we log off, if you're watching this later on, comment, let us know if you like the shirts and if you want more information about them and which design you like better. So it's been cool. We'll be back next Tuesday. And same time, same place, and we'll see you. All right, Rich, thanks. Talk to you all later.
Take care, guys.